What was that?
I do have a lock on the development version. Should I take it off?
Um,
Or I'm not sure if
we'll
you
find
can.
we'll find out. We'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Welcome everybody to NoCoders Office Hours, episode number 257. I'm your host, Tanya, and I'm here with our members, Dango. And Dango, you are working on an app, and I'm so excited to dive into it this evening. But before we get started, if this is your first time tuning in to NoCoders Office Hours, what it is we hold Zoom sessions 6 times per week. And I'm thinking back, we have not missed a single session that we've announced. Like, we've never missed. We are changing the schedule up a little bit on Monday night. So let me reiterate the schedule just so you know about the new change that we're doing. But our schedule is going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at the same time as always, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Tuesdays and Thursdays, as always, at 6 p.m. Pacific time. But our Monday evening sessions, it turns out that I live in Arizona, and Ritesh and his team, who come to Monday evening office hours, it's actually their Tuesday morning, and they're in India. And we, neither Arizona nor where they are in India, changes time zones. And so when Pacific time changed times the other week, it was messing us up a little. So we're going to stay with that original time, except it's going to feel like an hour later. So it'll be at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays. So if you would like to come and get your bubble questions answered, and remember, we're not just bubblers around here, we're NoCoders, so we can support you with Airtable, we can support you coming up with Xano. We've been seeing a lot of those questions. We can help you with let's see, Webflow. Cameron is really good with Webflow. If you have no code questions that you would like to get answered in those particular formats or anything else, we can always try. You can come on to pronocoders.com and sign up as a developer member, and you can come to office hours. We'd love to see you and help you out. Stango, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you if you want to introduce your issue, but I think you shared your app with me, right? So
I did share your app, yes, if you can take a look at it. And as I said, there is a lock on the development only, so I'm not sure if that's going to prevent me. I can take the lock off if you want, if that's
got it. It must be this one, the amazing looking app. I love it.
Okay, so you are in it. You are able to get into it?
Yep, I have it open. So probably it might be read only in development or something, but that's okay.
Well, I think the development lock is only for the preview.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I can take it off and put it back on. That's not a problem for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I think then you'll be able to preview and do everything else, I believe. Okay. It is off.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is off. I guess once we grant permission, it's off. I can put it back later. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. So you have a version 2.
Yes.
Here.
So,
okay.
I do have version 2, and so right now I am on current version development because I believe we need to sync the V2 with development. So we'll take the changes from V2 because right now I haven't touched the original development that I'm on right now, and that one should be in sync with the live. And there are some users on the live as well. So gotcha. I purposefully done it that way so that I can work on V2 and then use the development just to deploy the app once I sync the V2 with the development. This is the route that I've taken since the last time. I've had a lot of problems with it.
Got it.
So
you're wanting to merge V2 into development and take care of any issues, and then look at development, and assuming it's okay, you want to deploy development to live.
Yes. So if I'm correct, am I, this is my thinking because I've thought about it because of the problems that I've had before. So I've left one of the two versions. So namely, I've left the development to always be in sync with the live version.
Mm-hmm.
So that right now I haven't touched the development since we last synced all three of them. And I've been working on the V2. So what I want to do now is bring in the changes from V2 to the development one, and then so that the V2 and the development should be in sync. Both of them should have the same content, I believe. And
Okay.
then we will deploy the development to live, and then all three should be in sync at that point. Is that the notion of this sync that Bubble is talking about?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into here, and we're just going to
Are you sharing
demonstrate.
your screen or yeah? Okay, go ahead.
Can you see my screen? Yep.
Yes.
So I'm going to come into the sandbox here for a second.
All right.
I'm going to come in here, and I only have development, and I don't even have a live version.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and deploy to current version to live because I'm going to simulate what you've been doing. So, oh, I have these issues to take care of first.
Right.
That's not a problem. We can just delete that. The joy of having a sandbox app, it does not matter.
Right.
So now I'm going to deploy current version to live. I'm going to call this launch.
Okay.
All right. So now my my March sandbox is deployed to live. You can see it was updated just now, whereas yours says updated 9 months ago.
Correct.
So now I'm going to create a new version called V2.
Okay, a new one.
Mm-hmm. And now I have 3 synced versions. My development is also the live is also V2.
Is also V2. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm in V2 here, and I'm going to make changes. I'm going to come to my index here, and we're on episode 257, but I'm going to say on V2 here, I'm going to be on episode 258.
Okay.
Right. Now V2 is different than development and live.
Just as mine, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back into my development version, and I'm going to click this button here, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to merge V2 into development. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to add changes from V2 to development? And I'm going to make sure that this is the direction that I want the information to flow.
Yes.
Right. And I'm going to confirm that.
Okay.
And it's going to say, we've successfully done it.
Yeah.
And now I'm in my development version.
Yeah.
It's going to reload for me. And now my development version says episode 258 instead of 257.
Right.
And now I'm going to deploy my development version to live.
Correct.
And I'm going to call it V2.
Or you're going to call it V2.
The deployment message that I'm going to put here is going to say V2 because that's going to give me an indication of what I'm deploying.
All right. All right. I see.
I'm going to click deploy, and it's going to say, woohoo, your deployment is successful.
Okay.
And then your question was, when you do that,
yeah, there's going to be
are all three going to be? They're all 3 synced again, but if I go into V2, I was thinking there's a possibility it's going to tell me that this live has new changes.
It does, yes.
Right. But at this point, when you have V2 merged into development and then deployed to live, I'm thinking you're actually going to want to delete V2 and make V3.
Well, see, I don't know. That's because
Yeah, because
these were always the problems. Like no matter how you sync them, there's always these red flags saying a
so
lot of new changes.
I think that you were running into the bug, but if I click here, there haven't been enough changes that I'm going to run into the bug, right? So this version was successfully synced with live. And so now everything, it should, if I refresh the page, it'll refresh itself actually. I didn't have to click. And now V2 is fine. But sometimes when there's been a lot of changes, even when I was merging V2 into development,
Yes.
I would have had to accept all of the changes, right? I would have had to been like, okay, I want V2's version. I want V2's version, right? So I think you've simplified it a great deal. I don't anticipate that you're going to have problems with it. One thing that we can do, if you want, if you're okay with it,
Yeah.
I can go in here and I can make a copy of your app. Oh, it won't let me because you haven't given me the permissions, but I can make a copy of your app and put it on the agency plan.
Yeah,
and then we can practice it.
I have save points on all three. I've done that at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay.
And I haven't done anything. So we can always we can always revert it back to the save points.
100%.
I've saved every one of the versions out of the three. All of them are saved. So we can go back. But yeah, there are a lot of changes in V2. So I think we should just try it. And
let's see what happens.
Yeah. Do you want me to put my screen on and do it, or do you want to do it?
Oh, it's totally up to you.
Yeah.
Your app.
I'm watching. Where am I? I'm at the. Yeah, go ahead. So it's on development. You can deploy it. Yeah. Take it from V2. Yes.
Okay. So V2 to development.
To development.
Confirm.
Yeah. And we can call it March 21st.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah. 24th. Whatever.
I'm going to refresh. All right. Development says.
Yeah, see, these issues come up.
V2 deleted. What does that mean? Oh, it means V2 deleted this thing, right? So you just want to keep selecting V2 on everything, right?
Okay, so what are you doing? Sorry.
I haven't done anything yet. I'm selecting V2 on everything. So confirm, V2, confirm, V2, confirm.
All right. Okay.
All right. And now it says I have 467 issues. So I'm going to refresh again.
Oh, you refresh it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the point of refreshing it?
Refreshing it is just to make Bubble think about it again.
Okay.
So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say here.
Yeah.
It says no. So when I tried to go in to fix the issue, now it says no issues to fix, which is right.
But why does it do that? That's what I'm saying.
That's the bugginess, but it fixed it.
All right.
It resolved everything. So now everything's resolved and you can deploy to live. But let's just make sure it looks the way you expect it to look, right? Like V2, right?
All right.
So if we just go through and we, how do you normally test? Do you run as a particular user?
Yeah, you can run as a user if you like, yeah.
Okay. Which page would you have me run on to test things?
You should test the dispatch page because that was not on there.
This page. Okay, the one
Right.
I'm on. Okay,
That's the
perfect.
one you're on, yes.
Okay, awesome. And so now I'm going to go into my data, do you have any real user information in your development database?
Not in the development, so you can go to the last user, which is
Okay.
one of the companies that is active in the live.
Like this one?
Johnny Delaro, last one, all the way on the bottom. Yeah.
This one. Okay.
Right. Mhm.
And then you have a username password. If you want to, I can pull this off screen and you can send me what those credentials are, or I can look them up.
You can look them up. They're on there. I thought I just looked it up and they weren't on there. So you can go into the settings and you'll see them there.
I don't have admin rights, so I can see it. Never mind.
Yeah, you should.
I've got it.
Okay. That's the preview mode, I believe, for the development.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm in the dispatch page. Okay.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that all works. Yeah. Check the menu probably on the right-hand side. That's good.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So are you confident the changes were all moved over?
Yes, this was not on there. The dispatch module was not on the development one. That's correct.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. So now we can deploy that one to live.
Yep. So this one says live has new changes. Click here to sync. But we actually, this is probably where you were running into problems.
Yes, I was. Yes.
Right?
What do we do with that?
So what I would do is I'm going to come into V2. And you can do this because you didn't make any changes on development all of these years or all of these months.
Right.
Yeah, this is a problem. Yep, this is a problem that if we had not merged the changes with development, we could just deploy version 2 straight to live. We would have to sync development to live and probably have to contact Bubble to clear this up. But yeah, but that's why.
So why not deploy the development now? Because V2 and development are synced right now.
No, so V2 and development are synced, but neither development nor V2 are synced with live. But if I refresh the page, I'm wondering if that will come back. It doesn't appear to have come back. So now it did. So let me go back to development.
Yeah. But I'm thinking now if the development and the V2 should both have the same changes. Is that correct?
Yes, development and V2 should be completely synced with each other.
Right. So
if I try to deploy development to live right now, if I deploy current,
we should be
you're out of sync with live. Your version doesn't include recent changes to live. I'm going to do something that I generally do not recommend doing.
Maybe we should
only doing it
sync them, no? Is that right?
Well, they are synced. Development and V2 are synced.
Yes.
Deploying to current version to live.
Yeah.
Would so if I sync development, we can see if it'll work. So I'm on development, and if I sync with live, we'll see if it deletes everything.
So this is yeah. Deletes everything.
All right, yours deleted. We want to keep mine, right? So which one do you want? You want to stay with yours.
Okay.
I want to stay with yours. I want to stay with yours. So as long as the dispatch page is still here, then and preview it, then they should be synced and we should be good to go. Okay. So it's still here in development version. So now I'm going to deploy development to live. And you wanted to call it March?
Yeah, March 24th. Yeah.
March 24th? Okay.
Sure.
And then we'll deploy. And it is deployed.
Wow. Should be fine now, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you see what the problems were, because as soon as I saw those,
it's very confusing.
1,300
Yes.
issues, and I click on them right away, and I shouldn't have clicked on them. I should have waited a little bit, or was that the time factor, or just refresh the browser?
Just refresh the browser and click into it and see if it disappears. It's just a caching issue, right?
Caching issue in the browser, probably, right?
Yep, it's a lot for Bubble to keep track of. Not that they can't do it better,
right?
And I know that they're working on doing it better, but it's a lot for them to keep track of. So, but it looks like this worked, and now I would say I don't think you need your version 2 anymore.
Well, I would just keep working on the version 2, and then I can sync them, no? Or yeah,
I'd probably start it fresh
with.
Yep, from the development here, I'd probably delete V2 and then use the development the same way that you did before. So the thing is that what you did was perfect, but the reason that we do it, you weren't taking advantage of, because I think you got a little bit, I don't know, gun shy with it the last time you had issues. So the way that I do it at AirDev is I'll have usually the development will be the version that I'm doing all of the changes on, but I will spin off a version called hotfix, and I'll keep the hotfix version synced with live. And if I need to make a change, like a quick change, and deploy it without deploying all of my big changes, I'll deploy hotfix to live, and then I will sync live back to development. And when I sync live back to development, then development still has all of its new changes, but they're not on live.
All right, but if we delete the V2 now, would we not have to sync the development with V2 again? Because wouldn't the tables and everything be out of, there would be no tables in it if we delete it, no?
No, actually, because your development version and your extra version here are both using the dev database.
Oh, the same database. All right.
They use the same development database, right?
Okay, and then what about the workflows and everything?
The workflows are identical right now. So when you delete version 2, you would just be deleting an extra version of the thing that you now have 3 versions of. And then what you could do is spin up a new one, and you could call it V3. You don't have to. You could just sync this one to live, but you can't change the name of or maybe you can. Can you change the name?
I just read something that they deprecated this in December of 2021, the changes in the version control. I'm not sure I know they've deprecated something in December of 2021, which was just 3 months ago. Changing renaming the developmental versions.
Right, exactly. So I think if
Yeah.
you wanted to name it something else, you'd have to delete it and spin up a new one, which right now is fine because all three versions are exactly the same.
They should be the same, yeah.
Mhm.
So why are you not suggesting that just to keep going with V2 and keep putting the V2 the way I've been doing it? Why are you
Well,
saying?
I am suggesting you do the V2 the way that you've been doing it. I'm just saying that now you're working on version 3.
On version 3?
Yeah, because you just deployed version 2 live. So anything you do from now, you might be making updates to version 2, but just for versioning, I personally would increment a number because to me it would feel like progress. So,
Uh,
but
oh,
it doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter.
yeah, it should matter, right, Tanya? Because let's say, the way I've thought about it, now I can keep continuing working on V2, and then before deploying anything live, I'll do the same what we did tonight, bring it back to development, and deploy, always keep deploying the development one, which is always going to be in sync with the live.
Yep. So
Right?
we should probably click here. If you're going to keep working on V2, we should probably click here and just do the same little bit. It should refresh itself and be fine now. Yep. So now you can keep working on V2.
So now all three are the same because we've synced the live with V2.
Exactly.
We should have no red.
No red and nope, nothing should be turning red.
Right. So this is the same thing instead of calling it V3, right?
Yes, you can just keep using V2, no problem.
Right. And all of them are in sync now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I see. So the problem was the bugginess in Bubble. In fact, I didn't really do
Yes, it was not you at all. It was the bugginess of Bubble. Well, the bugginess and it might not have even been a bug. It's poor communication, right?
Right.
So just not really giving you a heads up as to what to expect and what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, right, I just had to sync the live with V2. So to just in order to complete the circle, in fact. So we go from V2 to development, development to live, and then live to V2. That should complete the circle between with all three of them. And then all three should be in sync, definitely.
Yes.
Right, and then we don't have to change the versions here, V2, V3, or whatever. Because
No, you don't have to.
because I've set it up that way. As long as I know the flow of the content, and so that at one point, whenever I'm ready, I can just deploy and then keep them the same. Keep that circle the same between all three of them, I believe. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then just not to get too worried about with all these red flags. All right.
Don't let Bubbles scare you. Bubble. it likes to scream at you a lot, but
It does. Yes. Yeah. All right. I got to work on that then. Not being scared of Bubble no more.
Yeah, don't be scared of Bubble.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Awesome. Do you have any other questions I can help you with?
I think that should be it for me for tonight. I will have some more questions. I'm ready to. Well, I'll take a look at the live now, and I can go out and present the live version and put some more users on, and then I'm sure I will have questions, whatever they come up with in the app, and I'll be working on it, obviously. But I think I'm at the point where I'm ready to go and approach another set of beta users and said, okay, here's the dispatch module, and they will be testing that, and I'm sure I'll be hear quite a lot. Whatever problems they would have and whatever they want, I need to fix that.
Yeah, well, we will be here for sure. And I'm very excited to have you as a member. And also, really, I have to say, like, when you told me what your app is doing, I was like,
Right.
I never thought of that, but that makes so much sense. So
yeah, it was a large project for me because I'm not this. My background is not in tech, but I'm so glad for Bubble and for this no code movement, and actually for. This is a great thing. I didn't find out about you guys. In fact, if you, I don't know if you're busy or not, waiting for someone, but I can tell you how I found out about you, and maybe you can. I believe this is a great thing. I've been looking for something like this, but I'll tell you, it was hard to find. The way I found you was I was watching an interview with Jacob and Kelly Klaus from Canada, and she's a member, and she mentioned she mentioned NoCoders. So I kept reverting back just to get the name right, and that's how I found you on YouTube, in fact. Awesome. But it was through Kelly and yeah. So really, I was glad about that. And then I looked at your videos and stuff, and I really thought this is awesome, what you guys are doing. And
that's amazing.
It's much needed in the community. And yeah, I'll certainly spread the word around. It was hard to find. I was looking for something like this, but it was really hard to find. And this, I really came up with you on by chance.
Yeah, well,
yeah. I don't know if that's going to be worth anything for you, right? To look into.
No, it is. It is actually. So I've been saying for a long while that we're the best kept secret in the bubble world. I mean, our team is just phenomenal. Eli and Pablo are amazing. Cameron is amazing. I've surrounded myself with fantastic bubblers. I don't know bubblers better than my bubblers on my team now. But I think the thing that you're talking about it being difficult to find, what we've been working on since October, because Eli and Pablo came on board in October. Before that, it was just me. And what we've been working on since then is putting together the team and the infrastructure to be able to start scaling.
Yeah.
And so we're the best kept secret's about to be let out, because we're starting paid advertising and things like that in the next couple weeks.
Right. So. And may I suggest something too? It was hard, when even a lot of bubblers go to YouTube, and that's very scarce material there too. But the thing is, I didn't find you on Bubble, so there's something you should look into it, because YouTube, I believe, is a huge marketing platform right now, other than, paid advertising, and I believe you should do something like that, maybe even on Bubble. I mean, I don't know, that you can look at that, but I believe that, my comment about this, you're really hard to find, and I believe that's you really have a lot to offer.
Well, I'm glad you found us. Thank you for persisting in finding us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to move into after hours, which is where, if you aren't comfortable sharing your app on screen in the recording that goes on YouTube and in our Facebook group, then you can wait until after hours, and I'll stop sharing my screen, and we can turn on the videos, and we're stopping the recording, and we can just be more free with each other. So if you would like to join us in after hours, you can go sign up at pronocoders.com for the developer membership and get access to all 6 sessions every week that we hold.
Thank you. Tanya, I have signed up for that. That's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. I forgot.
Oh, yes, for sure. So I'm going to go